I promise that the rest of this vlog is going to be better than this intro. For starters, I'm going to actually find my microphone. Ambiance. I've been planning this trip since I think July, and hopefully I'm finalizing the last few details tomorrow, which is going to be September 4th. I was originally supposed to go on the road trip at the end of September, but now it looks like I'm going mid to late October. I was also supposed to be going with my friend, and now I'm going alone. So obviously plans didn't really work out, and why would they? But I'm still going, and here's why. Lately I've been feeling more and more like a fox with its foot caught in a trap, and if the trap doesn't open up soon, I'm gonna have to just gnaw my leg off and get out of here. This feeling is why I decided to go on the trip in the first place, and it's also why I decided that no matter what I was going, it didn't matter where or how, but I had to just go. The farthest I've been without one of my parents is the next city over, like an hour away. I had some more thoughts, but I couldn't really wrap them up nicely. I literally just decided to do this like half an hour ago when I was in the shower listening to This Year by the Mountain Goats, and I realized it was something that I needed to hear again. So let's just cut to the footage of the trip. I'm going to be honest with you right now, I have no idea what this camera's filming. I have it set up on top of my bag of snacks. Also, this is not my car. My car is not this nice. I'm driving a rental. Nope, I'm not turning that way. Oh, so, I'm going to Lake George first. And I was originally going to stop somewhere on the
right on Freeman Road.
I was originally going to stop somewhere on the way, but I was also originally going to leave like 45 minutes ago. This setup probably isn't going to work, but I don't really know where else to put the camera. You know, it's all trial and error.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
I know how to get on the thruway. You know, this was like partially like, you know, plan it out just so like I don't totally fuck things up because I didn't have a plan. But it was also partially like, you know, this is supposed to be like a, you know, just getting away from it all, low stress thing. Didn't end up being low stress.
At the roundabout, take the second exit to Freeman Road.
Kind of knew that it wasn't going to be low stress. This person... Okay. That's not how traffic laws work, but you're speeding, so I'm gonna let you go. Now that I'm like actually, pretty much as soon as I got onto the thruway and I was like, I'm doing it, I'm like, my mood improved like tenfold. I was just like fucking, like I wanted to throw up. And like over like the past few days, and not just because I was sick, and I was sick. Okay, like I'm literally still on antibiotics, and I'm like, get this out of the way, because I'm fucking going on this trip. All the things that stress me out are still here, but now I'm like doing it, and I don't know what sort of psychological takeover just happened in my brain about like whatever, but I'm doing pretty good right now. I don't even know if this is recording because I can't see there's a truck, you probably can't even hear me. I've pulled off in a town called Weedsport, mostly because it's called Weedsport. I plan on making a stop in either Weedsport, because it's called Weedsport, or Auburn, because there's something there that I was originally going to see on like the first plan for the road trip, and it was the same exit. So I'm going to regroup a little bit, but mostly it's called Weedsport. Okay, so it's the next day. Trying to remember where I left off with the filming. So I pulled off in Weedsport. On my original road trip plan, when I was going with another person, it was going to be longer. I was basically using this website that had like an archive of roadside attractions, and there's this cemetery in Auburn that I guess like a bunch of crows have like taken up residence. So like you go and there's like crows on graves, and that's very goth. So I was like, you know, let's go check that out. I went there. It's a big cemetery. You know, it's like you can like drive around in there. I didn't see any crows, but I did follow a fire truck into the cemetery, and I could see like up up on a hill portion there were like police cars and stuff, and I kind of wanted to go check out what's going on, but I didn't want to like get in their space, obviously. So if I think about it, I'm gonna like see if I can like Google some like local news in like Auburn and see what was up with that. I made it to Lake George a little before like 8 o'clock. Now I'm going to find somewhere to eat breakfast alone, which is like that was like my #1 concern about this trip, was like eating. I'm so bad at picking restaurants. So we'll see how that goes, and then I'm gonna probably go to Prospect Mountain today. Commence. Now that I'm here during the day, I can see that my hotel pretty much backs up to a cemetery. So that's a thing. So I just like typed in the name of this mountain into the GPS, and it came up with like a couple of things. One was like the ski whatever, and I was like, well yeah, it's probably, you know, that's the mountain. I'm not going skiing, but I'll get me there. So I put that into the GPS, and I was driving, you know, for a while. I'm like, okay, so it's not in town, you know, that, you know, makes sense, it's a mountain. I'm still driving, and I'm like, I just expected it to be closer. I didn't really look into it. Look, the arrival time on the GPS tells me it's gonna take me about an hour and a half. Now I'm a little suspicious, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull off. Next time I see a parking lot, I'm just gonna pull in, and I'm going to look this up, see how far away it's supposed to be. There are no parking lots for miles. It was all just farms. I'm on some like weird side road thing. There's like 2 main roads, and this like connects them somehow. Maybe this mountain is actually just not in the town, and I was like, when I googled, it's like, yeah, if you're going to like George, you can go to this, but it's like almost 2 hours away. That seems a little, so I'm gonna look. I know the lighting's terrible. I'm gonna look this up. Okay, I put a new address in, and it shaved like an hour off my arrival time, so let's do this instead. I have no fucking idea where this mountain is. I put in the new, okay, so I looked it up in my hotel. I looked it up before I left, and I looked up my hotel room, and I was looking for an address that said it's right across the street from the Chamber of Commerce. So I looked up the address of the Chamber of Commerce, and I put it in my phone. And then when I was going after breakfast, I just like Googled the mountain, not Googled it, put it in the GPS, came up with whatever. I explained that already. So I put in the address of the Chamber of Commerce, and it takes me back to Lake George. I figured out that I was just like looping around for an hour. I spent an hour just looping around on the thruway. And like at first I was gonna be like, hey, it's okay, you know, it was a scenic drive. I saw cows, like there was a sign that was like look out for cows, and then like turn the corner, sure enough, just a goddamn field of cows, like right off the road. So you know what, I'm like, this is fine. It's scenic, you know, I'm on a road trip. This is what it's all about. It's part of the experience. I could see the Hudson River, but I was like on the thruway driving, so you know, I was kind of like trying to like catch the view. I come back in, and I remember like, I'm like, oh, this is the exit I got off of last night to get in. And it takes me like, it's like arriving on the right, and it's like, it's just like, this is like where my hotel is practically. This isn't a mountain. So I have no fucking idea where this mountain is. Oh my god, I wasn't even gonna hike it. I was just gonna drive to the top, and I was gonna look around, and I was gonna like listen to the mountain goats and like feel at peace. But I don't know where it is. So I just pulled off, and now I'm like at the lake. So I'm gonna hang out at the lake and regroup. This is a nice view. Be even better from like a mountain, and if my camera focused. So a lot of stuff here, it seems, is only open seasonally, like the shops and stuff. And it also seems to include Dr. Morbid's haunted house, which doesn't make any sense because it's October. You would think you'd have your haunted house open. Like, is this not prime time for haunted houses? Unrelated, behind me is a swimming pool. I don't know if you can see it because I can't see through this viewfinder very much. It's like there's a hotel over here that I was just cutting through. And it occurred to me, I could probably go in that pool. Who would stop me? Who would know that I'm not staying at this hotel? I'm not wearing a bathing suit, but my feet are kind of hot because I'm wearing boots. And I can just sit there and stick my feet in the pool. This whole thing is an adventure. How far am I willing to take it? How crazy am I willing to go? This is attempt number 3. I decided to look it up on my phone instead of my GPS. It's like, oh yeah, Prospect Mountain's right here, 20 minutes away. Okay, I'm willing to try that. Going up this road, there's like a tunnel with graffiti and shit. It doesn't look like I can drive through, but like that's where the road leads, and I was gonna like pull over and pull my camera out, but then like I looked around to make sure there's no one come up behind me. And there was a car that was down the road, but it like stopped. I'm like, is it stopped because it sees me and we're on some like weird fucking road? But then like I think the guy's just like walking, he like let a dog out of the car, so I think he's just walking the dog. So I'm like, I like left and I'm coming back and I'm like, I gotta do this, but like, what the fuck am I getting myself into? I have a dash cam going, but I don't really know how well it works. So I'm gonna try to get it on camera. I just didn't want to like be weird with the guy in the car. Jesus Christ, I don't this is one of those situations, like mostly I'm fine going on a road trip alone, but like if I had someone with me, I'd be like, alright, you ready to fucking go in the murder tunnel? And I would just do it. But now I'm alone and I'm like, it's a little less fun to go in a murder tunnel alone, you know? Like, what the fuck? Maybe this is my fault in some way. You know, maybe it's because I hit, like, avoid tolls on the map on my phone. This isn't a road. Like, there's a dirt road, very bumpy. And I'm like, I hope this rental car is okay. Start going up this way. It's even rougher. Looks more like a hiking trail. I see some signs say AVs prohibited. And I'm wondering if cars are allowed. Go a little further, motor vehicles prohibited. Okay, so I back down this inclined hiking trail in this car. There's no other way to go. It's 2:35. I still don't have to be at the ghost store until 7:15. But I don't know how to get to this mountain. I was really ready to be like, you know what, I'll come back to Lake George another time. You know, I've been here before, I'm here now, I'll come back another time and I'll go this mountain. But I listened to Never Quite Free, which is a song that I wanted to sit at the top of a mountain and listen to. And I was like, you know what, now's the time, now's the place. Not the place, I can't find the place. Now's the time to find the place, to do this. But I don't, what? I'm like, it's like telling me like 3 miles and turn onto whatever. There's no road. I'm not on a road. I don't know where it wants me to go. There's nowhere to go. I don't even know like what this is. Because it's like a road that turns into like a hiking trail, but there's not even a park. I'm like pulled off this, like, it's a room for like 1 car. It's not even a parking lot. I don't know what the hell. I don't know where I am. I don't know what's going on. I just want to find this mountain. You'd think a mountain would be easy to find, but it's not. It's not easy to find. Attempt number 4 was successful. And it was very worth it. aliens from where? From where? So I'm leaving Lake George and I'm going to York, Maine. And I want to stop somewhere in Vermont, you know, get out, stretch my legs, buy some maple syrup. And I was thinking about maybe stopping in Killington, but I was kind of like looking at places when I put in Killington to see how far away it was. The map app on my phone showed me this town called Gaysville. It looks like it's a little town just off of White River, so it's probably going to take me on my way if I go there. But if I was staying in Vermont, I would definitely at least stop through. Like, I want to do a trip where I just go to places with interesting names. Like, that's kind of already why I stopped at Weed Sport on this one. Kind of why I'm stopping at Killington too. Once I get to Killington, I don't actually know where to go. I just like put Killington into the GPS. I don't have like a specific place in mind. My main thing is I want to get around, like get out, walk around, buy some maple syrup. So I was driving up here and there was this place called like Unique Gift Shop or something that's like has maple products. And I was like driving past, I'm like shit. So I like pulled in like a parking lot. There's like construction. The cones end like pretty much at this driveway. So I had to kind of like U-turn like around the cones to get in. I never do anything. I like take the easiest routes driving all the time. So this is like uncharacteristic of me to be like, I can do this and just fucking like pull some weird shit to get into a gift shop, which I'm like gonna buy probably maple syrup and nothing else. It's got like weird scarecrows and like a moose outside, so that's a good sign, I think. I have been following this truck for a long time now, and like at one point I had to turn. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna like separate from the truck. The truck turned too, and I was like, yeah man, I hope you're going all the way to York. We can, I want to like, I wish we had like a radio hookup between us. I want to find out about this guy, because we're like travel buddies at this point. I want to know where they're from, where they're going. I want to know like how long they've been driving. We're like, you know what? This is like my only friend on the road right now. This is the same truck. I just realized he has Moose Pegasus mud flap. I pulled off briefly just to make sure this thing wasn't taking me to Boston, because it kind of looked like it was going to. But I eventually pulled off just to like zoom way out on the map and make sure I wasn't going to Boston. But I realized I was in New Hampshire. I literally didn't even know I was going to be driving through New Hampshire until I was at my friend's house. And he had a big map on his wall, and he's like, oh yeah, show us where you're going. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going through here. I'm gonna stop in Vermont and drive through New Hampshire, I guess. This is 100% serious. I thought about getting like a slice of pizza while I was in there, but the employees looked like they were having too much fun out in like the aisles and shit, and I didn't want to I didn't want to be the one to pull them away. I work at a pizza shop and I'm too sympathetic to the scenario. Plus, who knows, gas station pizza. I haven't really vlogged since I got to York, so I just want to talk real quick about how I'm standing next to the balcony and out there is the ocean. So I went up to Portland for the day. It looks like I got bit by a bug, which I'm just seeing now that I'm looking in my mirror, my whatever this is. So I went up because I wanted to go to the International Cryptozoology Museum, which was small and odd, but what else would you expect? And then while I was there, I decided to go to the Portland Museum of Art, and then I just kind of walked around and I found little kind of weird shops. Like I went to like a couple like antique stores, and when I didn't get anything, the other one I got like a Lost Boys button and a patch with like a zombie hand like doing this. Not a patch, a sticker. There's like this thing with like one doorway and then there's like different stairs. So I wanted to go to, I saw it was comic book store, so I went in and ended up going to the record store instead and then finding the comic book store. But good experience. I have this issue where I will only buy Mountain Goats albums on vinyl. Then I did also find the comic book store, and I got Shade the Changing Girl, which is like part of Gerard Way's imprint. and I got like one issue of a Poe Dameron Star Wars one shot, I guess. Like the person checking me out like complimented my vest and stuff, and I'm like, you ever just like go to a city for like 2 hours and decide you want to live there? Because I realized I didn't talk about this while I was in Maine, but I considered Maine to be the sort of climax of my trip in like the classic way where the climax happens in the middle of the story and it's the most important part. Partially because it was the farthest point of my road trip. But I wanted to see a lighthouse there, the Cape Nettic Nubble Light, which is supposed to be like the most photographed lighthouse in America. I don't remember where I read that. I feel like I googled it later and I came up with some other lighthouse, so I don't even know if it's true. I took a crap ton of pictures, but I didn't get a lot of like footage of the lighthouse besides when I went there at night and I filmed the light reflecting on the water. I also filmed this clip that I got because I could hear music from a wedding, and it was like, I went there at night and it was like really peaceful. There weren't a lot of people. I took some pictures of the light and I just like laid on the rocks and I looked up at the stars, and there was like a meteor shower, so I saw a few shooting stars, and then in the distance they were playing Low like it was some goddamn middle school dance. Alright, I might just be really tired, but this is something that was very funny to me, and I'm going to do a little reenactment. So I had this light on, but there's a fan, and I don't necessarily need the fan on. So I, look into the other lights. Oh, what is, ooh, that's very bright. No, don't need that extra light on them. Well, there's one left. What does that do? Why? What is that? It's like washed out, but it's like because of the light. But like, look at it. It's like when you go to a buffet and they've got like roast beef or whatever, and it's under a red heat lamp. That's what this is. Why is that? Like this is what it looks like in here without the other lights on. Like, what? Alright, I'm about to drive for like 6 or 7 hours. Let's fucking do this.
Turn left on Church Street.
That's a one-way street, so I'm not going to be turning left on it.
Turn left on Ocean Avenue.
Hold on, this place is called Ocean Avenue. I need to change the song. We were both 16 and it felt so right. Sleeping all day, staying up all night.
Turn right at the stop sign.
If I could find you now, things would get better. We could leave this town and run forever. My favorite thing to do is yell at people by whatever their state their license plate is from. I'm in Massachusetts right now, and there's a lot of states around, so it's kind of like this truck kind of like came out of nowhere and just like all the way like from the right lane to the left lane. I'm in the middle lane, so it's basically me just being like, Jesus Christ, New Hampshire, and like that's what most of driving with me is like. Also, we passed the sign back a while. It said left lane closed! 3 exclamation marks. And that's how they do shit here in Massachusetts. I have an air guitar when I'm driving. the wrong track. Fuck! It was like closed. Hold on, I like this song. I'm too distracted. Okay, it's gonna fix this for me. Okay, that was ridiculous. The construction. There were like 4 lanes and the construction took up like the 2 middle ones and I couldn't tell where I was supposed to go, but now I'm back on the freeway and it says turn in 26 miles, and when I have a number that high, I'm comfortable because I'm just cruising for 26 miles. Let's start this song over. Looking for like anything that's gonna tell me what state I'm in. Heading towards Northampton. Is that in New Hampshire? Is that in Vermont? You know, I'm just driving, you know what I mean? Just driving. The good thing about wearing really big sweatshirts is that you don't have to wear bras with them. My life before this road trip and my life after this road trip are very different, and it's partially because of the road trip. Some of it's unrelated, but I could call it life-changing and not be wrong technically. And I did. Oh, what's that in the rest of the text message thread? Just us talking about the apartment we're moving into, which I hadn't seen at the time of these texts because my roommates bought it while I was on the road trip. Which I said was okay, but it's still very weird. I let teenagers pick out my house. But let's take a step back here. In the weeks leading up to the road trip, there were a lot of people questioning me and or telling me what to do. Like literally every adult I talked to had an issue with me going alone, which I mean sure, but then they tried to like tell me who I should go with or be like, oh, didn't you think about this person? Like, oh no, I put 0 thought into this, thanks. And there's a lot of like, aren't you scared? Like, what if something goes wrong? What if this happens? And then like by the time it actually came down to me like going on the trip, like a couple days before, people would be like, oh, are you excited? And I'd be like, no, not anymore. At this point, it's just something that I'm doing, you know? But like once I got on the thruway, like then the excitement came back. And like a week or less before I went on my road trip, I started talking to one of my friends about moving downtown. And then like 2 days later, we were looking at apartments. And then when I told anyone about that, like specifically like my family or older coworkers, they're always like, well, didn't your roommates want to go on this road trip with you? Like, that's no, stop. I don't even know one of them. And then the day before I left, my one roommate found a new place to look at, but I couldn't see it because I was going on the road trip the next day. But I was like, go ahead and like, you know, go ahead with it, check it out, whatever. And then I came back and I was like, so what's up? And they're like, we signed the lease. So I'm moving in there like next month, probably. Yeah. So now I'm in a very different place in my life than I was when I filmed the intro to this video. Like, I went on this road trip amongst other reasons because I wanted to carve out some independence for myself, but now I'm about to have like an unprecedented amount of independence. All that stuff I feel like in a way is happening like to me or around me, and it's not really stuff that like I'm doing, but I feel like I've changed as a person because of this road trip or whatever. Like, there's stuff before, if it deviated too much from like what I'm used to, I was like, oh, I can't do that. You know, like, oh, I've never done that before. I can't just like do it. You know, that's like an hour away. We can't just like go there, you know? But now it's like, I can do whatever, you know, I can do anything. A road trip, it's just driving. I know how to drive. I can do that. So my advice is the same as that of Shia LaBeouf or Nike. Just do it. Shave your head, go to concerts alone, get in your car, drive to the coast. If you live on the coast, drive to the Midwest or something. Don't think of things that are outside of your norm as things you can't do. because you literally can. It doesn't have to be fancy or cost a lot of money. Just do the stuff that you always wanted to do and never did because you always thought, I can't do that.
It's so good to learn that right outside your window there's only friendly fields and open roads. And you'll sleep better when you think you've stepped back from the brink and found some peace inside yourself. Lay down your heavy load. It gets alright to dream at night. Believe in solid skies and slate blue earth below. But when you see him, you'll know. It's okay to find the face to saunter forward with no fear of shadows spreading where you stand. And you'll breathe easier just knowing that the worst is all behind you. And the waves that toss the raft all night have set you on dry land. It gets okay to praise the day. Believe in sheltering skies and stable earth beneath. But hear his breath come through his teeth. Walk by faith. Tell no one what you've seen. It's so good to learn that from right here the view goes on forever. And you'll never want for comfort, and you'll never be alone. See the sunset turning red, that'll all be quiet in your head. And look about, all the stars are coming out. They shine like steel swords. Wish me well where I go. But when you see me, you'll know.
So my advice is the same as that of Nike and Shia LaBeouf. Just do it. Such a stupid fucking. So my advice is the same as that of Shia LaBeouf or Nike. Just do it. Shave your head, go to concerts alone, get in your car, drive to the coast, eat ass, suck a dick, sell drugs.